Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament. I'm your host DeltaTDS, and today for the second to last match of round 3, we've got the Galar gym leader Bea going up against the Sinnoh gym leader Gardenia. Bea currently has a 4-0 record. Back in round 1 she went 2-0 against Cress, and in round 2 she went 2-0 against Rourke. She already has experience beating Sinnoh gym leaders. Gardenia has a 2-1 record where she beat Lenora back in round 2. Bea's got the Gigantamax Machamp, Gardenia's got the Mega Venusaur, and once these trainers are ready, we can begin match 137. Bea leading off with that Surfetch, Gardenia leading off with the Rotom Mow. Personally, my favorite form, I've forgotten which match it was. Rotom's going for the choice spec trick, or tricking the choice specs, and taking the leak off of that Surfetch. Rotom's going to be volt switching out of there, getting to safety, and bringing in the Ninetales. As Surfetch goes for a knockoff, getting rid of that Heat Rock. Bea switches out to that Grapple Lock. Gardenia, Ninetales goes for the Flamethrower, dealing over half, and with the Will-O-Wisp getting a burn on it, as Liquidation does 17% to it. Grapple Lock going for the Detect, protecting itself from that Flamethrower. Another Flamethrower does take out that Grapple Lock. Oh yeah, today was Hatsune Miku's birthday. Bea sitting at the Hawlucha here. This Pokemon has caused so much trouble in this tournament, especially with Kahili. Flying Press takes out that Ninetales. Gardenia's gonna send out that Venusaur and Mega Evolve it. Flying Press is doing 39% to it. Sludge Bomb's doing over 3/4 to Hawlucha. Flying Press takes Venusaur down to 23%, and it misses that Giga Drain on the Hawlucha. Bright Powder is certainly an item of all time. One more Flying Press does take out that Venusaur. And Gardenia sends out the Milotic. Hawlucha with the high jump kicks, doing over 1/3 to that Milotic. Scald does finish off that Hawlucha. And this Milotic does have the Flame Orb. Surfetched does have that choice specs, so it has to be careful of what moves it uses. Leaf Blade is going to do 35% to Milotic. And switches that to the Machamp. As Milotic goes for a recover, and Machamp reveals that it too has the Flame Orb. Gonna Dynamax. Scald is gonna do 12%, as Machamp goes for G-Max Chi Strike, doing 40% to Milotic. Milotic going for another recover. G-Max Chi Strike doing 38% this time. A critical hit doing 60% this time, as Dynamax does end for Machamp. Milotic going for the Scald, as a critical hit with the Cross Chop does take out that Milotic. And Gardenia sends back out that Rotom Mow. Leaf Storm takes out that Machamp. It's currently 3v3 right now. Bea sends out that Fallings. And Rotom tricks that Thunderbolt's gonna do 21%, Throat Chop does 46%, and take out that Rotom. Gardenia sends out that Torterra, a not very common Pokemon in this tournament. Close Combat's gonna do 74% to Torterra. Body Slam's gonna paralyze the Fallings, as well as do just under a third to it. Torterra, with the Earthquake, does take out that Fallings. Was able to move faster thanks to that paralysis. And Bea sends out that Pangoro. Pokemon we haven't really seen a lot from, despite I think multiple trainers that have it. Though Drain Punch does take out that Torterra, and Gardenia is left with that Roserade. Go for the Leech Seed. Darkest Lair is doing 91%. God, excuse the yawns. It's not boring. It's like 1 AM. Roserade with the Protect. It's going to allow it to heal up to 51%. Giga Drain doing 36% to Pangoro. Darkest Lair does take out Roserade. And Bea takes game number 1 with 2 Pokemon remaining. We saw every move from that Rotom. We saw the trick with the Flame Orb, or no, the Choice Specs. We saw the Flame Orb on Milotic, leftovers on the Roserade, Heat Rock on the Ninetales. As for Bea's side, we saw the Life Orb on Pangoro, Choice Spec or Leak on Surfetched, the Widelands on Fallings with no retreat, and then the Flame Orb on Machamp. We are back on the field for game number 2, and once these trainers are ready, we can see if Bea will move on to round 2 or round 4. Bea leading off with that Grapploct as Gardenia leads off with that Rotom and immediately Volt switches. Switching out to the Ninetales, and Close Combat's going to do 2/3 to that Ninetales. Flamethrower is going to take out that Grapploct. Bea is going to send out the Hawlucha now. Flying Press is going to take out that Ninetales. Gardenia switches back out that Rotom Mo. Hawlucha with the high jump kicks is going to do 2/3 to Rotom, and Thunderbolt does take out that Hawlucha. Bea sends out that Machamp, which can be a very terrifying Pokemon. As Gardenia switches out to the Milotic, G-Max G-Strike is going to do 40%, and both Pokemon get burned thanks to their Flame Orbs. Milotic go for the recover, Machamp going for another G-Max G-Strike, and Milotic heals all the way back up, getting a critical hit this time. But Dynamax does end for Machamp, and there's 1 turn of Sun left. Dragon Pulse doing 20%, Cross Chop with a critical hit does take out that Milotic. Gardenia sends out that Venusaur. Gonna make Evolve. Giga Drain's gonna do 43% to Machamp, and Ice Punch does 2/3 to Venusaur. Giga Drain does finish off that Machamp, healing Venusaur up to 45%. Bea sends out that Surfetch now. His first impression does 34% as Sleep Powder misses that Surfetch. Giga Drain's gonna do over half to Surfetch, and Knockoff does a quarter to Venusaur. Giga Drain leaves Surfetch on 1%, Knockoff doing another quarter. Giga Drain does take out that Surfetch, leaving Bea with 2 Pokemon remaining. Sludge Bomb with a critical hit and poisoning that Pangoro. Darkest Lariat does take out the Venusaur, and Life Orb plus the poison takes out that Pangoro, and it's just Phalanx against 3 more Pokemon, giving Phalanx the choice specs on no retreat. Yeah, it's over for Phalanx. There's nothing it can do. Gardenia takes game number 2 with 3 Pokemon remaining, which means we'll be moving on to a game number 3. That was quite a dirty trick right at the end there. I mean, it's a good way to shut down a Pokemon, but still very disgusting. We are back on the field for game number 3, and we'll see which gym leader is going to be moving on to round 4, taking that second to last spot. Bea leading off with the Pangoro, and Gardenia leads off with that Roserade. 2 new leads for these two. Setting up the Toxic Spikes as Pangoro goes for a Swords Dance, and Roserade gets a second layer up as Darkest Lariat takes out that Roserade. Gardenia is sending out the Ninetales, setting up the Sun for 8 turns. Will-O-Wisp is going to burn that Pangoro. Drain Punch does take out that Ninetales. You know, we're starting to see a little bit more from this Pangoro, or from Pangoro in general. Gardenia is sending out the Venusaur now. Sludge Bomb's going to do over half to Pangoro, as Darkest Lariat does 3/4 to Venusaur. Not even the Mega. Giga Drain taking out that Pangoro. And Bea sends out the Hawlucha, which is kind of bullcrap, because obviously it's standing on the spikes, but whatever. Yeah, that doesn't care. Flying Press takes out the Venusaur. He does not look like he's flying. Gardenia sends out the Rotom. High Jump Kick with a critical hit takes out the Rotom, bringing Gardenia down to 2 Pokemon. Flying Press doing it just under 3/4. Body Slam doing 41% to Hawlucha. Flying Press takes out the Torterra, and it's all down to Milotic here. Milotic has 5 Pokemon to go through. High Jump Kick doing 40% to Milotic. Scald doing 21% to Hawlucha. High Jump Kick doing 24% thanks to that burn. And Bea sends out the Grapplock now. Go for the recover. Octolock is... What? What the hell is Octolock? I guess it lowers defense, special defense. Oh, that's... Okay, now I see what it's doing. That's gross. Critical hit, close combat does take out that Milotic. And Bea takes game number 3. A lot easier than her first game. But she'll be moving on to round 4, where she'll be going up against the former champion and the winner of tomorrow's match between Alder and Peony. It's going to be a fun match. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until then, take care.